What up, everybody? This is Pastor Dan with another episode of High Five, where my job is to encourage and equip you in under 5 minutes. I brought my phone after last time I went over. So this time I'm going to set my alarm 5 minutes, and hopefully I'll be done before this alarm goes off and you'll be encouraged and equipped. I want to ask you a question. Are you celebrating anything right now? Or are you celebrating anything that happened recently? Maybe it was a birthday party, anniversary, maybe something that is going on in your life that you've been waiting for a long time. What are you celebrating? That's a great question to ask yourself and ask those around you. Why do I ask that? Because in Philippians 4:4, Paul writes to the church of Philippi while he is in prison, and he says, "Rejoice in the Lord always." And then he repeats himself, "Again I say rejoice." Rejoicing is something that is celebratory. It isn't applauding. It is thanking God. It is a joyful lifestyle. Now, is this saying that when we get out of bed and we're tired, we say, "Oh, rejoice in the Lord"? Well, yes, it should be a state of mind continually. And I think also we miss opportunities because of how busy we are and how many things are going on all around us, that we overlook opportunities to stop and thank Him for what He's doing or what He has done. So what in your life right now can you think about that you are thankful to God for? What can you celebrate? And I think as you begin to do that more and more, you'll begin to see a transformation of your mind. And then you'll be encountering Philippians 4:6, even less. It says, "Do not be anxious about anything." That anxiety, we have a lot to be anxious about potentially. We have a lot that is stressing us and worrying us and bringing us down. Maybe it's job, maybe it's family, whatever it may be. It could destroy us, and actually it weakens our immune system, makes us more vulnerable when we carry this added stress. And Scripture's telling us to be anxious for nothing. We should be rejoicing always while also being anxious for nothing. But the beautiful thing about Scripture is it doesn't just tell us what to do or don't do this or do this. It tells us the how. So it says, "Do not be anxious about anything," but verse 6 continues, "but in everything by prayer and supplication." Meaning that when we do have those encounters of anxiety, the way we should respond to those is responding with prayer and supplication and requesting. But then there's a hidden word in there called thanksgiving. I think when we have a content heart, the anxieties and the stresses around us begin to be minimized and minimized. Why? Because we are reminding ourselves what we're thankful for. We're living in that state of rejoicing where we are joyful for what He is doing. And we do not let an opportunity pass where we don't stop and thank God for it. But Paul continues and he says, "Let your requests be made known to God." Tell them before Him, explain those to Him, explain your heart. He knows your needs, right? But explaining, releasing that and handing that to Him is ultimately what we need. And then we're given this promise in verse 7. "And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind." Think about that for a second. He doesn't just say you'll have peace to get through it. He says you're going to have peace that doesn't make sense. You're going to have peace and you're going to look around and wonder, why do I have peace? I've encountered that in my life where I'm wondering, like, Lord, I don't even know why I'll have peace right now. I should be distraught. I should be anxious. All I'm thinking about right now is I have this immense amount of peace. Why? Because we've released these things to the person that needs to carry this burden, and that is God. You may be carrying things right now that you are not intended to carry. You've got to hand that over to God. One of the most challenging things for me to grasp is there are things in this world that are simply outside of my control. I have to let them go. I have to let them go. I have to take them to Christ and say, "Look, I bring these to you with thanksgiving in my heart for all you've done." And just watch how God gives you peace that simply doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't make sense to anyone else around you. And then you revert back then to that rejoiceful nature, that rejoiceful culture, that rejoiceful relationship that all believers should be exhibiting, even in the midst of a pandemic. Again, I remind you, Paul is writing this from prison for his faith. And yet he is encouraging you, he's encouraging I to rejoice Cast our burdens to him. Do not be anxious, and allow the peace of God to wash over us that simply doesn't make sense. I pray this encourages you today. I'm praying for you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And I got this in under 5 minutes. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.